Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up, I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're faded, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Well, hello everyone, and this is crooked. How's that crooked? My OCD is just, that's much better. I think I have it unevenly weighted with my barbed dildos. But anyone, hello everyone. And T for Truth, the intro song is an adaptation of the song Battle Scars. I do super love it myself, but it's an indie creator's adaptation of it. And the other one that is very quick in the Pink Flame of Liberty, just like pull down, that's a I'm Everywhere, which is in a lot of gamer shows, different pieces of it. It's fantastically free, royalty-free music, the second one. But okay, everyone, tonight's kind of a fun night. I don't know who's going to show up. I did an open invitation to some statists that are really, really ass mad at me. I mean, completely ass mad. And I was like, why not? Listen, I'm going to tell you the story. But before we get there, let's give time, because Libertarian Standard Time, basically. And tonight will be fun. Maybe we will learn something. Maybe even I'll bring someone on with me if any of the brave men out there decide to show up. Perhaps even so, but let's see. Hello, Assassin Panda. Let me do my preliminaries, which you guys are pretty used to. Right here is my Patreon. I am going to be uploading tonight a bunch of book excerpt things, book discussion things from January 1973, which I am truly, truly enjoying. But as I am giving a year completely ass mad to Ned Kelly. You have no idea. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at the hurt of the butt that I caused because what's that song? How can you sleep when the beds are burning? It's like, how can you post when the butts are hurting? Oh my goodness gracious. Lord have mercy on my soul. But there's my Patreon. I am embarking on a year of giving content creation a chance. My husband agreed to let me do that. And we'll see. I'll make a go of it because I was absolutely miserable in my job as a paralegal. And I wanted to hang myself, which isn't funny because it's got truth to it. But there's my Patreon. If you can help, please do. If you can't, that's okay. There's plenty of other ways to help, even just your eyeballs. Speaking of eyeballs, this is the worst segue ever. My merch is out, Pink Flame merch, but here is the first shirt. For well-behaved women often don't change history. Here's Mudacorum. Well-behaved libertarians seldom do not change history either. So wherever your Liberty event, please wear it everywhere, including Reno. Okay, everyone, that is all I'm gonna have for this one. I think I've jabbered on enough. Oh, one more thing I am gonna add because somebody asked me about it earlier. In the low bar, there is a link to an Amazon product. It happens to be the Anarchist Handbook, which if you haven't bought, you should use my Amazon affiliate link and buy it. But if that's not something you care to purchase, or of course, like all people of good taste, you've already purchased it, just use that link to start your Amazon searches for whatever you're going to buy, and it will credit to my affiliate account, and it doesn't cost you a damn thing. Take some money out of Bezos' pocket. He already, flew a giant penis into space. What else does he have to do? And, help a sister out here. If you're already going to buy from Amazon, which I love Amazon. I don't diss Amazon. I love Amazon. Use that link below, and then I get credit. And it doesn't cost you a thing. And you get to you get to rightfully, because he offered it, take money that Jeff Bezos has put on the table to assist liberty. Okay, so let me set up the story and we'll get started. This is more like a Liberty Boudoir episode. Not that I'm going to be putting on my makeup, which I did already, and I think I did a decent job with the eyeliner with the hooded eyes. Boy, it's such a pain in the ass. But it's going to be more like that in that this is participatory. I need to hear from you guys because what we're going to do, well, let me set up the story first. So I'm just doing my boomer thing on Facebook, just boomering. I'm actually not a boomer. I barely missed being a boomer, but I'm not. Barely though, only by like 2 years. I was born in 67. I think boomers ended 65-ish, whatever. So I'm an honorary Karen. I've got the name. I just spell it differently. I'm a Karen in camouflage. So I'm doing the Facebook thing, and I see this post by this radio station that I must have somehow started following. And it said, what invention has caused more harm than good? You know the way these radio stations, they do these little polls thing. You're just trying to grab engagement. Capitalism, yay. So I figured, I'm just going to do a little libertarian political joke, just a little joke here. And so I typed in the state and left, thinking, okay, move on. Where's a funny meme I can post? What's the next thing to do? And then my notifications start blowing up. And listen, because I'm a public figure, I get a lot of notifications to begin with. My posts, the popular ones at least, get decent traction, but nothing like this. It isn't even a post, it's a comment, mind you. My comment at last check had 1,580 reactions to just 2 words. the state. And people lost their ever-loving minds. You would have thought I broke into their house, raped their mother, poisoned their dog, and shit on their front lawn. Holy cow. But okay. Who knows how many reactions it has now. I had to start ignoring the notifications because it was nuts. It was nutso. Now, of course, there were some libertarians there. There was some support. I got to turn this heater off. It's making this click, click, click sound. And I started interacting with the comments at first before it was 1,580 reactions. Now, that's not comments. That's reactions. But I was just getting dogpiled. And I had minutes to do today, babes. I had June 5th through 6 minutes to do. It takes me about 40 hours to produce a set of in-person LNC minutes, so I had to finish them. And I had LPD to do, and I had a historical preservation committee to go to. I had shit to do. I had libertarian shit to do. So I couldn't respond to all these comments. I responded to some. Actually had to block one person, but I'm going to unblock him for this show. And I figured, you want to know what? About 25% of the comments, now maybe 50%, was just being ass mad. No thought to it. Just ass mad. Okay? About another 25% were libertarians. About another 25%, though, were some genuine questions, comments, observations. So I was like, and only one troll I had to block. I mean, a legitimate troll. Like this guy was just, and I'm going to unblock him for this show. Because we're going to go to this thread. I haven't extracted it out. I haven't done nothing. We're going to live start reading through these comments and answering. And I invited the village of the ass mad to come. I invited them to the show. And even if I got a good one, I'd even bring them on. Because, you know, I even invite my haters here, the people who actually like know me rather than these people who just don't know me. And we're gonna answer some of these objections. We're gonna laugh at some of the trolls. We're just gonna have some fun because I don't have time to just type this all out. So I don't even know what bounty awaits us. I know some of the bounty. My roads did come up. I believe I got told to move to Somalia. I believe the social contract was mentioned. I believe it was said that libertarians never even thought, none of them, no libertarians even given 2 seconds thought as to how we would have fire departments. Don't tell them. I was just like, other libertarians were kind of like, I'm like, don't tell them. Just, oh, don't. So yeah, it was very interesting. So let's behold the splendor of the statist hissy fit. I stormed the temple, apparently, when I thought I was just making a lighthearted little boomer joke on a radio station. But apparently, I let loose the hounds of hell. Apparently, Kamala Harris somewhere shrieked and said, "Oh no!" Sorry, didn't mean to blow out your headphones, but let's get to it. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Let me first on another screen here, let me pull up the face beast. Let me find this thread. It'd be pretty funny, wouldn't it, if I set all this up and it got deleted? That'd be my luck. I'm sure it's in my notifications. Yes. Jared Emanuel, Ross Blotter, and 92 others mentioned you in their comments. Let's stroll on to Ass Mad Street. Okay. A couple other things I forgot to mention. So I'm going to unblock that guy. Let me unblock him before I go to Ass Mad Street. And I wondered if I should download these posts and redact the names. But then I was like, no, this is a public forum. This is like radio station. This isn't somebody's obscure business. It isn't somebody's private thing. This is all out in the public. So it's not their pictures, you know, it's maybe an avatar, but I didn't think it was intrusive. They put themselves out in the public. We're not going to go to their pages. I'm going to say right off here, if there's some jerk on there, do not harass them. If you want to interact with them on this thread, feel free. That's what it's there for. But don't go to their personal profiles and be a dick, okay? Don't be a dick. That's right up there with the non-aggression principle, non-dickhead principle. NDP. Obey it. Okay, let me unblock this guy first, though. You all talk amongst yourselves while I'm figuring out how to unblock this guy. I don't even think I remember his name, though. And I've got like 10,000 people on my block list. Yes, I practice freedom of association. Well, shit. Where is it even on here? I am such a boomer. Is it under settings? Security? Privacy. That's where it would be. Privacy. Blocking. I think his name starts with a D-E. Oh, there it is. He's right at the top. Darren Nay. Unblock. But I'm not going to be able to reblock him for 48 hours, and that's going to suck, because this dude was really the only genuine troll. The rest of them were just, status. All right. Let's go here to where... All right. I'm going to share my screen now, I think. Let me share it. Yay. Okay, here we go. So here is the post. Hello, Finley, and good afternoon to you as well. So here's the post. What invention has done more harm than good? And you can see my post right here. Look, I'm now at 1,900 reactions. I've never gotten 1,900 reactions on anything. This is insane. Let's see. 1,500 likes. That's good. 181 loves. 165 laugh reacts, but some of those laugh reacts are my friends, like Brittany. She's in love with me, and I'd marry her. Yeah, she laugh reacts, so some of those are my friends, and I suppose some probably didn't react at all. It says most relevant is selected. No, we want all. We want this in all of its glory, so all comments. Okay, I posted this 2 days ago, and it's got nearly 2,000. Alrighty. So, let's do previous replies. And let's go up to the top, shall we? I'm going to see how many comments there are. I think there's like... View previous. I think there's like 400 comments, but we're not obviously going to go through them all. We're going to pick the best of the best. View previous replies. We're going to have to go through previous here for a while, folks. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, you can see I was still replying here for a while. All right, no, hide 183. Okay. Yeah, it's, with the sub-comments, it's like up to 400. Okay, so here we go. Oh, no, why does it say okay? Is that somebody? Oh, this is going from back to forward. All right, let's go to the bottom then to get the oldest. That's weird. I thought the oldest... No, it's kind of all scattered. Weird. All right, we're just going to start at the top then. It's not in order, though. I'm sure it'll be even funnier out of order. Alrighty. Where I said Ross Blotter okay, because Ross Blotter said, I said, remember to join me tonight, oh brave ones. You guys seeing this on the screen? Yeah, you are. Okay. Oh, brave one, so eager to have a piece of a libertarian. And Ross Blotter said, okay, strike Constitution and replace with my Bill of Rights. But I had said to him, Ross Blotter, Constitution runs roughshod over liberty at times. It does. So he said, replace with Bill of Rights. Okay, so that was a fine. You have to unhide them to see them in order. I did unhide them. It's now asking me to hide them. I don't know why it's not in order. Do I have to do it by newest? I don't know. We're just going to do it this way. I'm such a boomer. I'm such a boomer. Okay. Nice non-answer. I don't even know who I'm responding to here. Okay. So let's find... I'm just going to... Forget about my responses. I did hit all, Finley. And let's just look at what people said, and we will, let me try newest. You guys, we are boomers. Let's try this again, newest. No, see, then it didn't find mine anymore. No, that didn't work. Let's go back to where we were. You guys messed me up. Okay. Now where's me again? Now I gotta view all these again. Most relevant. Don't want most relevant. We want all. Okay. Well, let's just start here. Why not? All right, so Jared says, libertarian left is where it's at. Democratic everything. Jared, you appear to be confused. You try vote harder. Libertarian left isn't democratic. So I think you're a bit confused. Also, I am center left myself. So it appears that you might be agreeing with me, but it's not democratic everything. Libertarianism is not democracy. I happen to think democracy is pretty terrible. I don't know who's out of here. Maybe he's trying to say that I'm out of here. Me being chicken, I guess, is maybe what he's saying. Okay, let's see. Okay, we dealt with Mr. Constitution. Okay, where I said the Constitution runs roughshod over liberty at times. Oh, and here's the classic. Ayn Rand, Rand Paul, and Paul Ryan walk into a bar. The bartender serves them tainted alcohol because there are no regulations. They die. So nobody dies today where there are regulations. And that bar owner doesn't care if they get sued because, you know, in the absence of regulations, people could just murder people with impunity. That's what we believe. Okay. You see, if that's just a joke, okay. But if you actually think there's a kernel of truth there, that is just really silly if you think that in the absence of regulation that there wouldn't be other incentives. Even if you're just going to get back to, let's say, something really primitive. How do you know that Ayn Rand, from what I understand, she had a hot little lover in one of her students that he wouldn't get really ass mad that you killed off Ayn Rand and come and kill you. I mean, there's plenty of incentives outside of regulations. And the fact is, when there are regulations, you tend to just assume everywhere you go is safe. But I can tell you, I've worked in the food service industry. My dad used to own a pizza shop. You do not want to know some of the shit that how often do you think health inspectors really go into these places? And generally, you know they're coming and you prepare for them. Do you really think it's regulations that are keeping you safe more so than people not wanting to get sued and most people not being sociopaths and wanting to build their business in order to transfer wealth down to their children? I have to ask you, Scott, in the absence of regulations, would you just poison people? If so, I'm worried about you. Get help. All right. Don't know what Dawn was asking me. It looks like Tammy was answering the question social media, but doing it in my thread, but that's okay. Get off my thread. Get off my lawn, Tammy. Hippity hoppity, get off my property. Was the state invented? Yes. Because in a state of nature, there is no state. Even Hobbes and Locke says that men invent the state in order to bring order to alleged chaos. This is a really smart thought here. We have a bear of big brain here. Joe, libertarianism hasn't been a complete thought since the first homicide. I don't think that's a complete thought, Joe, because I have no idea what you're saying. So, what? So the fact that there was a first homicide disproves libertarianism, but I thought the state was to prevent crime, so wouldn't the first homicide be a disprove of the state? Sorry, Joe, I can't follow your incomplete thought. When you get your thoughts together, maybe he's saying he's a libertarian. I don't know. I'm guessing here. Joe, you got to help me out. Now, oh, it's a different Joe. I'm not sure who he's insulting. Is he insulting me? Or is he insulting the other people here? This is definitely a pose law thing. But let's just assume he's insulting me, because that's more fun. Ignorant simps who get their views from TV pundits believe that complex societal issues are just as simple as their own childish non-understanding of said complex societal issues. You mean like your oversimplification of the societal issues of how people understand societal issues, Joe? You just, I think, proved. Okay. Let's see here. Feel free to start my own stateless country. Michael, feel free to start your own totalitarian country. Okay, now we're even. Thank you for your permission. Is there some is there land that's not claimed by some state illegitimately? Point me to it. Libertarians, Republicans who are 420 friendly. That is very original. I don't think we've ever heard this before. What's Republican about us? Let me see. I believe all drugs should be legal. All. That includes crack. That includes cocaine. If that's what Republicans are for now, they've changed. I think anybody should be able to marry, not just straight people or gay people. I think if someone wants to, have one of each and one of non-binary, I mean, why not? Are Republicans for that now? I'm really confused, Sky, because I thought I knew what Republicans are for, and I didn't think we basically held to everything they did plus weed. I'm not understanding. I think you're confused. How about saying libertarians, Democrats who just don't want to steal your money? I mean, that would be just as accurate. Frida Brown, Monopoly Board. Okay. Is that a question? That was, oh, Scrabble? Okay. Have fun. I don't know what that means. We have a commie here. Let's go back a little bit here. So Tom Barrington Brown is speaking to Brooke. I absolutely do believe in reaping the fruits of your labor. Private property is a tool for reaping the fruits of other people's labor. Interesting. Nobody should privately own someone else's home. That's private property. No one should own someone else's means of production. That's private property. Perhaps you have private property confused with personal property. We're gonna really unpack this. All right. If I pay for and live in my home, why should that be the private property of my landlord? Okay. If the profit of my labor pays for the productive capital I then go on to produce with by my labor, why should that productive capital be my boss's private property? My home should be my personal property. Okay. All righty, Tom. Well, the thing is, you didn't pay for your home or there wouldn't be a landlord. If you do pay for and live in your home, it should be your private property, including even if you don't live in it and you allow someone else to live in it for a fee because it's your property, which means you can dispose of it as you wish. Disposing of it as you wish would include letting someone else live in it for a fee. Now, the profit of your labor pays, but see, you didn't own the factory. You feel free to go start your own factory, but you made an arrangement with somebody else who actually owned the factory. And the reason you're getting paid is because they're getting more out of your labor. That's why they're paying you and taking all of the risk than if they didn't pay for your labor. But the fact is they're taking all of the risk, but you are wanting other people to take all of the risk and then for you to reap all of the reward. Feel free to start a factory. I'm not stopping you. I think you should. Nobody owns someone else's means of production. They might rent it, but they don't own it. Okay, continuing. Boomer cons. Yes, I do agree. They have done far more harm than good. Craig, you win the internet today. Ah, Devin, the state made civilization possible. Really? It's so civilized to go and drop bombs on brown people overseas. I'm so glad you're teaching me what civilization is, because I thought before you that that was very uncivilized. And you see, a lot of us have interactions with each other with absolutely no state involvement. Are you saying, Devin, that but for the state, you would be uncivilized to me? Again, get help. Michael Snyder, the Libertarian Party are ANCAPs. I wish. There are ANCAPs in the Libertarian Party, but the Libertarian Party are, well, okay, I'm not even going to go with the grammar route. That's just a cheap shot. Not everybody in the Libertarian Party are ANCAPs. I could wish. From your lips, Tom, to God's ears. But alas, ANCAPs are in the minority in the Libertarian Party. Who's going to stop people getting abortions if not the state? Does he think libertarian, what? Who's going to stop people from getting abortions if not the state? Checkmate Libertarian Party. Well, there's nothing in the Libertarian Party platform or belief that wants to stop people from getting abortions. Now, some individual libertarians might think it's immoral, such as myself. And who would stop them? Societal pressures, peers, parents. There's been people stopping people from doing a lot of things without state involvement. Now, that is just bizarre. I personally don't think the state or anyone should prevent body autonomy. I'm glad you think so. So the money that I earned with my body, I should have full autonomy over, and you don't think the state should steal from me. I'm so glad we're in agreement. I can't even read this. Government is the great fiction, through which everyone endeavors to live at the expense of everyone else. Yep, that's true. Yeah, Chili is right. Everyone in here is a simp for the gang that extorts their money every paycheck. I know. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. You fall in love with your captor. I'm going to put up some comments here. And here we go. Oops, why? What? Oh, never mind. I'm in the way. Let me move me out of the way. What sucks about most young commies is they're smart enough and care enough to recognize that people are being ripped off. I agreed, but totally seduced at a really, really stupid and evil ideology. Right? We agree on a lot of problems. It's the solutions that the solutions are the bitch. All right. And, just to remind everyone in chat, no pressure. I just have to do this because I'm a whore, right? I'm a capitalistic, filthy capitalist pig whore. Super chats are always welcome because there's no way in hell this video is going to be monetized by YouTube. So help a sister out here. All right, let's continue. The 24-hour news cycle. Oh, he's saying what's done more harm than good. Okay. Tom suggests we read Pradhan, Kropotkin. Okay, I have. Now what? And Nathan says, you're right, but probably for the wrong reasons. And I said, story of my life, friend. Libertarianism sure would be anarchy, which would be brought to order by tyrants. What? Tom, are you having a stroke, Tom? Libertarianism sure would be anarchy, which would be brought to order by tyrants. It sure isn't anarchism. I'm confused, Tom. This is like some of those weird signs I've been posting on my page. I'm going to have to skip that because I have no idea what you're saying. All right, here. Then Tom says to JC, I have not even mentioned anarchy, so you have no basis for your assertion that I have misconceptions. And then Tom said, yes, you did. Oops. OP thinks she's an anarchist. Okay. Well, one, at least. But she believes in private property and money. You aren't an anarchist. She, I think he means. Well, I'm a certain kind of anarchist, but there certainly are anarchists who don't believe in private property. Anarchy is kind of a blanket term. I'm a libertarian anarchist. But as Michael Malice pointed out, there's a lot of different kinds of anarchists. Tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, they're answering the question of what's done more harm than good. I agree with Rodney here. The state is a parasite that feeds on any prosperity a society creates. Correct. It's a tick on the ass of liberty. Michael says, which one? Meaning when I said the state. Some people get really confused thinking I'm meaning like Colorado or something. And I get it. So I said to him, I mean the poli-sci term of state, which isn't meaning the American states, though they too are a state. And Mike says, oh no, someone pissed off the totalitarians. I know. It's, yes. And then Paul asked, libertarians don't believe in states. I said the consistent ones don't. Why do they run for office? To abolish the state. And not all the ones running for office disbelieve in states, because I did concede that not all libertarians feel like I do. How is that an invention? Ask Locke and Hobbes. They wrote all about how it's an invention to allegedly bring order out of a state of nature. Karen Ann Harlos, in a democracy, the state is what we make of it. Me, democracy sucks ass. Those are words of wisdom. Those are pearls of wisdom dripping from my lips. Bask in them. Democracy sucks ass, thus saith the Lord. Actually, he actually me. Actually, democracy doesn't suck ass. Yes, it does. Because we have the freedom to vote our own way instead of following the tyranny of Trump. It has nothing to do with Trump, who tried to force mob rule on January 6th. Yeah, okay, that wasn't mob rule, dude. That was village people casting outcasts who wanted to take selfies. If you don't like democracy, then don't vote, okay? And please don't vote if you're a brain-dead libertarian. You're so kind, Thomas. Following the Koch brother, two citizens united billion-dollar propaganda machine designed against we the people government. I'd like to buy a vowel, Alex. I mean, you're not getting charged by the word, Thomas. You can use complete sentences. I may be a brain-dead libertarian following the Koch brother, two citizens united billion-dollar propaganda machine designed against we the people government, but I can form complete, coherent sentences. And democracy does suck ass because, sure, you can vote harder all you'd like, But if more people vote to rob you than vote not to rob you, your ass gets robbed. Now, that might be your kink. I'm not going to kink shame you, because I am a brain-dead libertarian following the Koch brother, Two Citizens United bill, and dying a propaganda machine designed against we the people government, which means that I'm not going to judge you. That I go, you do you, boo-boo. My kink may not be your kink, but your kink is okay. Alrighty. Better than a dictatorship or monarchy? Stephen, those are both states. That's good. That's like saying, okay, so what sucks? And I say, dogs. And someone goes, yeah, but what about poodles? Dude, that's a dog. Oh my God. I'm not sure if the state of denial was supposed to be a joke, whether that was supposed to be to me. I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. Libertarianism is great in theory, but terrible in practice because people. I think that is probably true. Actually, that's not true. I was going to say that's probably true of all worldviews. But libertarianism actually doesn't depend upon people to be good. In fact, it counts on a certain number of people being bad. So the fact that there's terrible people, I think that's the greatest argument against the state. Okay, there's just somebody fapping to left libertarianism again, but I don't really know what he's getting at. So I'm going to skip that because I don't know. Apparently there was a show called The State, and Danny was a fan. Okay. Karen Ann Harless, are you insane? No, I'm not. You want people to run everything? People are running everything now, Clive. What do you want? The lizards to run everything? Clive? Have you met people? They do. And you want them to have a monopoly on the use of force. Got it. I know. Who do you think runs the state? I gotta answer this. Lizards. That's who. Okay. I had to say it. Oh, here's the OP thinks she's an anarchist. Okay, we've already dealt with that. Any alternative for a system that has taken us to the fascist totalitarian COVID regime offered by intelligent, compromised people? I think what? Listen, if you're going to call other people stupid, could you... you probably should double check what you wrote. Okay, we're just going to go past that. Capitalism, moron. Which state? All of them. Have fun without any public services, law enforcement, education facilities. There was education facilities before the state mandated them. There was, oh my goodness. Okay, Amy, I will have fun. Thank you. Hope you have fun too with subpar services that you're being stolen from to pay for rather than, Amy, I really believe that if the state commandeered the production of shoes, you would think everyone would go barefoot without the state. Somehow I just think that. Let's see what the comments are. Ha! I have no understanding how sewage treatment and garbage dumps work. Checkmate, libertarians. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's continue. In their utopia, how would sewage work? The sewage rejoinder. Garbage disposal. Oh my God! They'd be dead of an infectious disease in months. Margaret, freedom doesn't make everyone stupid. Everyone, Amy says it would be a collapse where everyone bands into. Okay. I really wouldn't be bragging about the education system right now. I know that's a little mean, but the evidence is before our eyes. Chili says, if we get rid of the state, everyone would forget how to throw away. Yeah, it's even more dismal to view a society than I have. We would live and sit in our shit, Chili, until we got malaria. Come on. Freedom, baby. Libertarianism is astrology for men. Hold on. Let me just first say right up front, I'm cis. So I don't want to get anybody getting technical with me here about trans issues. I'm definitely cis. But he said, libertarianism, astrology for men. No, there's no dick in there. I've gotten any. So I think you're wrong. Just saying. Oh, okay. I should have left up. Some men are into astrology. Some women are into libertarianism. Both are nonsense. But then why would you say it's astrology for men when you... you mean the empiricism that states degenerate towards totalitarianism and greater usurpation of the liberties of people? Okay. Yes, I did look down my pants at my twat. Okay. Continuing. Based. Okay. You like to drink toxic water and tainted food. There's no accounting for taste. I don't, but okay. Clay. I like your thinking, Karen. Anne. It's Karen Anne. But it is a necessary evil, as our founders knew. They created a constitution designed to severely limit and hogtie the state in every way possible. Unfortunately, has been largely been ignored for the last 150 years or so. Clay, I implore you, read Spooner. I don't think you have yet. I think you might, maybe I shouldn't do that to you, because I often wish that I didn't know what I know now. Read Spooner! Let's continue. Let's see here. And I answered Johnny, who said, they also made a provision in the Constitution as to how it can be changed. And I said, or smashed, so to speak. And the banks. Have the banks done more harm than good? I would agree with you, Alfredo. Y los bancos. Mucho bueno. Yep. Much, much, much. How about news stations? Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. All human authority. Now, I think authority is inevitable. If it's, let me just channel Austin. I'm not Austin. I almost said Austin Peterson. Jordan Peterson here. Look to the lobsters, my friend. Look to the lobsters. Oh, speaking of lobsters. Top Lobster made my merch, buy my merch. Filthy capitalist. What was it? I'm a Koch brothers big bit. I can't even remember what it was that I was. Spread more Russian propaganda. Yes, comrade. Are you, that seems awful xenophobic, Matthew. Very much xenophobic, comrade. There are places so off the grid you can go and no one will ever know you are there. Try it. I don't want to. Even some famous people did it. if a famous person jumped off a cliff, little Craigie, would you do it too? I choose not to. Thank you. Kyle asks a very good question. How is social isolation a necessity for getting away from the state? Good question, Kyle. The national structure is a very recent concept. It's baffling that the thought of its decentralization of power is unthinkable to some. That's just why I said we probably shouldn't be... Yeah, I do think Clay could be a convert. I see. I sense a disturbance in the force. Hypothetical lad? Did they... What? Okay. Size matters. That's all I'm going to get out of that thread. Okay. Oh, William Clintmore. Still waiting for any example of a functional modern. I like how you put modern because he knows there's some examples of ancient. Libertarian anything. Been waiting on seasteading for what, 50 years now? Actually, I'm going to do the actually. I mean, how do you define functional or successful? There are people seasteading. It's not my cup of tea. But I simply responded, I actually would like an example of a functional, moral, modern state. But instead, I said, and for thousands of years, people said the same thing to the slavery abolitionists and people who didn't want kings. Very boomercon of you, though, and it's true. For most of human history, it was unthinkable that there wouldn't be one group of people. It wasn't always based upon race. Could be based on conquest. It could be based on a lot of different things that would be enslaved to another group of people. It was absolutely unthinkable. And then look how quickly it virtually collapsed. I say virtually because there still is slavery today, but it's not societally acceptable. Same thing with the revolutions that overthrew kings. That was unthinkable. And then he was just like, no, they didn't. Yeah, they did. And who's the they? You're going to say nobody ever said that? Don't pull a muscle. They're know nothing. What? They're... What? Okay. Nah isn't an argument, William. You know nothing, William Moore. Just like Jon Snow. Terry Bennett, define the state, please. I need to hear your version. Okay. It is an entity that claims a justified monopoly on the use of force over a designated territorial region. Okay. What's the alternative? The alternative is self-rule. The alternative is cooperation. The alternative is non-aggression. It's a necessary evil. It's on citizens to fight against all government intervention. What? We went from state to government. So let me unpack that because the Victoria answered well. But Silvio, I think this is a good faith question. So Victoria said, government has committed and continues to commit more evil than any individual has ever done. It is not a necessary evil, it's just evil. The absence of the state may not be utopia, correct. Bad things would happen for sure, but nowhere near as bad as the evil committed by the state. I like how Robert Higgs put it. Anarchy is not a guarantee that violence will not happen, but the state is a guarantee that it will. But let me go to Silvio now. It's on citizens to fight against unnecessary government intervention. Well, you went from state to government. I think government is inevitable. Of course, if there's a government that's doing unnecessary things, then it is de facto a state. So you're basically arguing my point. It's not a necessary evil because what you're assuming is that the state is necessary to protect rights. It is not. And anything a government, quote unquote, does that goes beyond protecting rights is de facto the state, which you said it's on citizens to fight against unnecessary government intervention. In my view, anything beyond rights protection is unnecessary. Therefore, you've agreed with me that citizens should be fighting the state. Now, we can get into voluntary governments and things like that. I'm given the the thing that nearly all libertarians will agree upon, not necessarily my particular point of view. Okay. Kathy, I think people who think government is bad should move to the wilderness. And I think people who think people should move for the wilderness should fuck off. Okay. And we all have our thoughts, Kathy, where there is no government. Okay, wait. There's a lot of wilderness in Colorado, and there's still government. Build their own roads. The state wouldn't let me even if I wanted to. Make their own food where there are no standards. A lot of us grow our own food, not in the wilderness, and there isn't an FDA fucking with our food here. That way they are free of all the government evils. Don't work for anyone else so you won't have Medicare or Social Security. Put out your own fires. Well, a lot of people do put out their own fires. And you could save for your own retirement, as people did for eons. And, you know, how about this, Kathy? I think people who want to control other people should move to North Korea. Problem solved. I have no idea what Discworld is. Oh, I like this. Politicians should all start in jail. And if they do a good job, you should vote them out of prison. I like it, that reminds me of something that Lily Tang Williams said, where she had said, forget putting body cams on police officers. We need to be putting them on politicians. Okay. Tom actually said something. Let's see if it's coherent. It started out coherent. Anarchists have a better thought out conception of a stateless society. I still think it's a fantasy for a civilization of our scale. No anarchist believes that a civilization of our scale is desirable or achievable under anarchy. It's completely against human nature, for one thing. If you even get into sociological studies, it's why, you know, 10 deaths is a tragedy, but 10,000 deaths is a statistics. Once you get past certain groups, it's you don't even recognize the humanity anymore. So I think civilizations, if you mean that by that, nations of our scale, are completely undesirable. Imagine having to stop every 10 yards of an uneven road to pay a different toll. Why do you think it would be uneven? I mean, we have toll roads now, and they're generally better maintained than the non-toll roads. And why would you have to stop? Even right now on toll roads, I don't stop. I get the bill in the mail. There's a license cam, or you have something like in Florida called SunPass. And imagine having to get extorted with every single transaction you do. Oh, wait, we don't have to imagine that happens right now. Okay. Thank you for depressing me. Tom? I get services for my... Really? Yes, it is stolen from. And those are services that I might not want, like bombing brown people overseas. Los says facts. Took out Ayn Rand book from the public library. Well, I don't care for Ayn Rand, and I buy my books. Let's go back to being hunter-gatherers, because that follows. I think you missed a step somewhere in the logic train. I think your choo-choo is missing a caboose. Okay, let's see. Because we need the state not to do that. Sorry that you lack imagination and have to coerce other people to compensate. That's my best one. That's my best one. Listen, people, after I checked my pants, this video definitely is not getting monetized. Okay. Continuing. Ubuntu. Okay. A world without money. Isn't that an operating system, Ubuntu? Isn't that Linux? Is that a country or something I don't know about? Or is it's a tribe? I don't know. I just thought it was a Linux thing. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Oh no, Daniel, I do not lack imagination for what a state can be and do. The state has proven itself. Actually, no. I do lack the evil imagine. Like, I couldn't even imagine some of the things that the state has brought into reality. So if I had to imagine it, yes, I do lack the capacity to imagine the amount of evil that the state has done. I would have lacked the imagination of the killing fields. I wouldn't have been able to think of in a million years Mao's great leap forward. I couldn't have dreamed of interning Japanese Americans because we thought they might be sympathetic to the enemy. I couldn't have imagined dropping atomic bombs on Japan. You're right. I lack that kind of imagination. And I admitted it to Christopher. Just because you spell your name different doesn't mean you aren't a Karen. In camouflage, my dude. In camouflage. What? What? I don't understand, Kenneth. Those exclamation point. It's still what? Okay, Kenneth. I'm just going to agree with you because I have no idea what you just said. Oh, here's, I love doing this with leftists. Elizabeth says, try living without it and all it provides. Start by taking a government course in civics. Elizabeth, do you always talk down to people? I guarantee you I know quite a bit about the topic. I am the National Secretary of the Libertarian Party. You don't have to agree, but it is basic human respect to acknowledge accomplishments. Nothing. Nothing. Because people who disagree with you just must not have ever learned anything, because that's how the world works. The only issue with the state are the people running it. And I said, and people are inevitable. But that is the problem with the state. And then somebody upset about how the vets are being treated, and I don't blame them. Deb says, let's trust corporations to take care of our roads, schools, blah, 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 blah. And I said, if I can find what I said, because I think I said something, corporations are not libertarian, so we both agree they suck. JC says, corporations only suck because of the power the state grants to them, but corporations only exist because of the power the state grants to them. They suck. So I agree with her. So I don't even need to go on that one. Charles Hurd, anarchy? Yes, I am an anarchist. And then, good luck with that. And I said, thanks. Good luck with the state. You'll need it. And then Americans Against the Libertarian Party, which is a real precious. Okay, I'm going to tell you a secret here. I probably shouldn't tell you this. Let's open a new tab. So there's a Facebook page called Americans Against the Libertarian Party, and it's really precious. But there's actually several pages called Americans Against. Okay, there's also this one. See, there's that one, and then there's this one. There's that one, and there's this one. Huh. Okay, this is the group, though. There's a page, though, too. all communists are bastards. Yeah, I agree. But that's not the, there's another one. There's another page. Americans against the Libertarian Party. That's good. Americans against the... I hope they didn't delete the other page because it was really great. Americans against Americans. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, let me see this one. Is this the right one? Okay. Yeah, here we go. Huh. I want to see. Okay. All right. So here's a page called Americans Against the Libertarian Party. I'm going to be telling you a secret here in a minute. This isn't the page he's referring to, though. So some friends of mine made this page to troll the fuck out of the other page, and boy, did they get ass mad at the trolling. But it was Poe's Law, because some people couldn't tell this was a troll page. So, let's, so like this post. The LP might not be so bad if it had a higher concentration of white people. Okay. And the best thing about this page, which is trolling the commies, is the libertarians who are taking it seriously. Okay, so let's look at some more. So, Libertarian Halloween. Let's see how butthurt the libertarians got. Look at the libertarians taking it seriously. Looks more like Democrat Republican Halloween, where the promise of free is having to pay more. If that. Last time I checked, actually, the libertarians taking this seriously is freaking great. Let me find some more here. Libertarian Defense Plan. Okay. Ban airplanes. Oh, I think there's some funny comments on this one. He goes, think about it. It would save polar bears. Where's the comments? Oh, most of them are deleted. Oh, they must be people I've blocked by now. Taxation isn't theft. Proof. Checkmate, libertarians. Oh my god. Libertarian Jesus. But there... Oh my god, libertarian protest sign. That's great. But I'm trying to find... there's one in particular here. Oh, gotta stop it. Somalia, capitalist utopia. Oh my god. ANCAP diet. I'm sorry. I'm just having to... Here we go. Libertarian IRS. If you're wondering where I got this meme from, here's where I got it from. Oh my god. Ah. Libertarian Railway. Libertarian Jesus. Nice to meet you, drowning. Libertarian Lollipop. Oh, so sorry. So sorry. Libertarian Fire Department. But crap, there's one. But if go find... Libertarianism is just anarchy for rich people. It's true. Okay, but here's where we were trolling the people from the original Libertarians Against the Libertarian Party. They deleted their comments. So they kept changing the cover image here to be the same as that other page, and they were getting so ass mad. So that's why I put, this is a great cover photo. It's very original and creative. Because we were just trolling them. Okay, now when I say we, okay, I admit it. I was one of the people posting on this for a while. I was trolling other libertarians. I admit it. I was having a real good time trolling other libertarians. I'm trying to find one of my posts. Oh my God, this is where you found the lady who wants the McRib. So it says libertarians want to force McDonald's to sell the McRib. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh, here we go. To legalized meth. Yeah, some of these are mine. Some of them are absolutely mine. Oh, this is mine. Trick or treat, you little shits. Okay, so let's go back now. Sorry. Because ever since he brought up that page, I just had to show you how we trolled the hell out of the commies and libertarians at the same time. Wasn't this post about an invention? Yes. Ah, Dave, this is the most false statement I have ever read. Well, Dave, you need to be more well-read. Because even if it was false, it's arguably not the most false. I mean, I can think of falser things. Who wants to abolish the state? The same people who always have, criminals. Some criminals, maybe. Not the criminals running the state. The smartest criminals get in bed with the state. Okay. Karen Ann Harlos. Thanks for ruining the comment section. That's what people do. Try to make everything political. I'm here to please. Who enforces necessary community standards in an advanced industrial society? Well, there's such thing as private defense. Such things as even private police right now. There would still be courts. There would still be standards. Why do you think you need to have a monopoly on force in order to enforce community standards? For instance, you own a nightclub, say, and you have certain standards for the community in your nightclub. You enforce them without necessarily the state. You hire a bouncer. Hell, like, we've thrown people out of meetings before. I mean, there's all kinds of community standards that are enforced without the state. So this is a legitimate question, though. I have libertarian leanings. Go with that, Scott. Go with it. But the state could vanish and there would still be force. Of course there would be. And those people capable of using it. Of course. But what you won't have is people capable of using it unjustly, in aggression, but claiming the mantle of the state, so saying it's legitimized. So with the state, you are guaranteed the veneer of legitimacy on absolute outright evil aggression. That could also happen in a non-state society. It could, but it is guaranteed to happen in a state because that's the very definition of a state. How do we evolve past the current incarnations? I think panarchy is the way. Honestly. And then someone got mad at me because I blocked somebody and I said, yes, we practice freedom of association. That's how I enforced my community standards. Oh my God, I answered my own question. Boo! Boo! Boo to the pink-haired libertarian lady. Okay. Boo! Hiss! Okay. I'm trying to find... So how do we proceed towards better governance? You need to stop recognizing the legitimacy of states. That's how. Oh, and here's where I said, I blocked the obnoxious child. If I want to watch a primate slinging shit, I will go to the zoo. I unblocked him for here. It's this dude. But he seems like he started to behave better after he didn't have my attention. Because he was getting really, really bad. Oh, and then somebody asked him if his sins were forgiven. Yeah, see, yeah, here's he. He's like, look at me, I made it to the top of a group that collectively knows nothing about economics. Okay, history. I guarantee you I know more about history than you do. Geopolitics, human nature, political science, civics or science. Yay me. How about you've made it to top troll where you just insult people that you know absolutely nothing about. Okay. Let's see here. Very few illegitimate questions. You must hate my roads, of course. I said, fuck them bitch-ass roads. And, of course, I had to put this dude up there. Fuck your roads, bitch-ass status. Okay. Love that man. John Busto says, the deep state. And I said, the shallow state sucks, too. Oh, look. I'd be living in a cave eating dirt if not for the state. That's quite a stretch. Let's see. Oh, he says, she is president of the Libertarian Party. They think government should be non-existent. Well, some of us do. They are delusional. Some of us are. But let me see. I said, I've been promoted? Last time I checked, I was the secretary. Give me my raise, bitch. Okay. The government is here to do good. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm truly sorry, Greg. Oof. All right. Okay. Robert Murphy, great. Privatization of roads, great. Because this is what this dude said. Let me find it, because this is where I ended up blocking him. Oh, he said something, I can't find it now. But he basically said libertarians haven't even thought about how these things would work. So that's why somebody posted those articles, because we've given a lot of thought to how these things would work. All right. Oh, there's more previous? I think we are at the end. Oh, I did post one of my... Oh, this is great. So I said, I'm gonna steal your money and shit on your car. James says, hey, leave the bald eagle out of this. It's not his fault the state culturally appropriated him. Touche, my man. Touche. Okay. And I see none of them showed up tonight. That's too bad. All right, well, that was entertaining. I thought there would be more legitimate questions to answer. Let me go back to my screen here. There was a few. There was a few. But it's just what amazes me, and I did a little bit of it myself, but hopefully you see it's tongue in cheek, that we have to assume that people who disagree with us are so stupid that they walk into walls face first. That nobody could possibly disagree in good faith. Libertarians do, that's true. I did a lot of it tongue in cheek. But the fact is, people who disagree with you are usually not stupid or bad people. They just disagree. Or they haven't yet connected dots you think you've connected. Very few of us sprung out of the vagina, fully formed, perfect Rothbardian libertarian. 6 months before I became a libertarian, I was in front of a bunch of people at Black Hawk Casino arguing for single payer. Yes. It's embarrassing. And I held that in good faith. We don't have to assume that people who disagree with us are uneducated, stupid, evil. Of course, some of them will be that, but it's a vanishingly small amount. It's fun to troll sometimes. I get it. I like shitposting with the best of them. But usually when you're actually dealing with a person rather than just like interacting with a meme, it'd be better off if you actually try to understand where they are coming from. And you might not be into debating the point. I'm actually not into debating the point. I very rarely debate. I don't find it particularly productive. I state my point of view. I state my reasons, maybe have a little back and forth, and then I leave it. And you want to know something? I've convinced more people to my side from that methodology than when, just thinking you've gotta win this. You've got to do. No, you don't. Sometimes all you need to do is put a stone in someone's shoe. And for the people that are going to hear it, they're going to hear it. That stone will irritate them, and then they'll finally hear it. But I've become convinced that the tit for tat debating really goes nowhere. It really simply feeds the ego, and it wastes a lot of time. And it, in fact, turns off the very people who will get turned on to your ideas just by watching you live them and simply state them and move on. I have found in my own case that when I have to have responditis in a debate, it's usually a sign of ego or insecurity. And it's better to spend that time to step back to either quench the ego or figure out where I am insecure in. Maybe I really don't believe what I'm saying I do. Maybe I'm getting so upset at somebody challenging me because I'm mad that they showed a weakness. And I prefer to spend my time that way. But that's me. But you'll probably have noticed these days that I don't do much tit for tat debating. I prefer discussions. I prefer friendships. Even with people who disagree. All right. And thank you, Mike, for the congratulations on the job. Not sure how long it's going to last. It is really a small amount of money. It's less than half of what I normally make. So it's very much part-time wages. But I have 7:30 to 4 work schedule, which means I could be home in time to get ready and do a show every night and not be working weekends, not be doing those 60, 70-hour weeks. I need a break. At least it's a steady paycheck that will pay for my health insurance, which was my big concern, and give me time to grow Patreon, advertising, whatever. I'm going to give it a year because I do think I needed time off from the legal grind. And if we're floundering, I've taken the sabbatical and I'll go back into full-time paralegal work. I'll still do contract paralegal work now, though. I can take on short-term contract. It's not the same as working in a law office. So I'll be taking on, and of course, I'm trying to get my parliamentary certification and would love to do some work as that too. So thank you, Mike. And thank you, everyone. Before we go, I got to give you my pitch again. Please, if you would like to not send me back to hell, become a patron. I am trying to guilt you, aren't I? And hold on. Bring it back up. The merch, tinyurl.com. It's also in the low bar. /Pink Flame merch. Get your Mud Decorum shirt here. And any day now, Mike, I will have the Call the Question Bitches shirt. It's on its way. So, thank you, everyone. I super appreciate it. Start your Amazon searches with my affiliate link below, and I'll get credit for it. You can help me out for free. And that is it for tonight. I think tomorrow I have a board meeting to go to, which is why the interview with JJ, with Mike and I and JJ, is not taking place tomorrow. It will be on Friday at 7. Tomorrow, after the board meeting, if I have time, I'll do a ballot access show. but I might not have time. It's Douglas County. Wayne is stepping down from chairing Douglas County and concentrate on the state party. So we're electing a new chair tomorrow. I have to be there as secretary and to vote. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome night. Remember, the state sucks. And I think I got something on the back. I think it's Vote Libertarian, isn't it? Tell me. Yep. Hashtag. Oh, I just showed you my booty. Got some junk in the trunk. Okay. I'm getting crazy. Bye now. Let me figure out how to show the thing. All right. Bye-bye.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians, or choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.